Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hey Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradori Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balaba Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shima Radha Madhava Astasaki ki jai. Chaitanya Chandradaya Mandir ki jai. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narotamam Devyam Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. My God. We've already assimilated the first 9 cantos, right? Yes, okay. 57. Satrajit murdered. Okay. The jewel returned. This sounds kind of like Dragnet or something. Dick Tracy. You know. Satrajit murdered and the jewel returned. It was a hot day in Los Angeles. We're working out of homicide. The captain is so-and-so, Mr. Smith. My partner is so-and-so. Yes, okay. Where are we here? Okay. Okay. Bhishmam kripam sabha sabviduram Gandharim dronam evacha Tulya dhukau cha sangamya Hakashtamiti hochataha Boliye Bhishman kripam saviduran Gandharim dronam evacha Tulyam dukau cha sangamya Hakastamiti hochataha Bhishman kripam sabhaviram Gandharim jonamevacha Tulya dukau cha sangamya Hakastamiti hochataho Bhishmam kripam sabhaviram Gandharim jonamevacha Tulya dhukau cha sangamya Akastamiti hochataha Bhishmam kripam sabhaviram Gandharim donamevacha Tulyam dukau cha sangam chao Ladies? Bhishmam kripam sabhaviram Gandharim dromamevacha Tulya dukau cha samgamya Hakastamiti hochataha Bhishmam kripam saviduram Gandharim dronam evacha Tulya dukau cha sangamya Hakastumiti hochataha. One more. Don't be shy. Be demure. Bhishmam kripam sasaduram Gandharim dronam eva cha tulyam dukha cha sangamya hakastamiti hochatuhu bhishmam Bhishma Kripam Acharya Kripa Saviduram and also Vidura Gandharim Gandhari the wife of Dhritarashtra Dronam Acharya Drona Evacha as well Tulya. What does that mean? Equal. Yeah. Yeah. What does Tulasi mean? Tulya, Tulasi. Incomparable. Yeah, nobody is equal to her. Tulya. Equally. Dukau. Sorrowful. Okay. Cha. And Sangamya. Meeting with. Ha. Alas. Kashtam. How painful. Iti. Thus. Ha uchatahu. Actually, this is ha uchatahu. They spoke. Yeah. Bhishmam kripam cha. Bhishmam kripam sa viduram. Gandharim dronam eva cha. Tulya dukau cha sangamyam. Ha kastam iti hochatahu. Hochatahu. Oh, ha uchatahu. They spoke. So the perspective, of course, is that we're now hearing the pastimes of the Lila Purushottam Sri Krishna. Because other people can reciprocate different feelings. Probably George Bush and Donald Trump can reciprocate certain feelings. Yeah, what's his name? Bill Gates, right? Yeah, yeah. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, right? They met and talked. And probably some people want to hear the conversation between Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, right? The two richest people on earth. And I think they were all talking about leverage in terms of real estate purchases like that and taxes. But when Vidura and Maitreya met, the sages wanted to hear about that conversation. Why did the sages, this is the end of the second canto, we've already gone through the first 9 cantos, right? Why did the sages of Naimisharanya want to hear about the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya? Yes, sir. Well, 5-fingered one.
Because it was indicative of what should be done in this age.
Ah, okay. Any other comments? Huh? Yeah. Because they knew that Maitreya was there when Krishna was speaking to Uddhava. And so therefore he heard higher, more confidential things. Because until this point in the Bhagavatam, first 2 cantos, the highest manifestation of Krishna that's really being discussed is Mahavishnu. He creates the universe, he maintains everything being discussed. Higher, the most relishable part in the first 2 cantos, I would say, is Krishna enters Dwarka. Right? And then everybody's coming out. People are coming out. All kinds of unusual groups of people are coming and meeting Krishna outside. Then when he goes into the city, there's a formal welcome. He gets the key to the city or whatever it is. And then he goes into the palaces and he meets with his mothers. Then he goes more confidentially into the inner chambers and he meets with his wives. There's a very, very nice description about how they met. Did they run and embrace him and were pinching his cheeks, or no? What did they do? Huh? They looked down shyly. They sent their sons to embrace him, which is equal to a personal embrace. So very subtle, delicate, tasteful things like that. So that chapter is including, I think, the highest discussion of rasa in the first 2 cantos. Yeah? Okay. But really it's talking about Mahavishnu. So at the end of the second canto, the sages of Naimisharanya, they say, hey, you mentioned Vidura went away and he met Maitreya. So what did they discuss? Because Vidura is going to ask him about these more subtle things that Maitreya heard just before Krishna was leaving. So really they wanted to hear about Krishna's position in Dwarka, right? Because we all know that Krishna is the Hindu love god, right? Right? Actually, one Sikh guy told me, he said, actually Krishna was an avatar, but he had a problem with the gopis and he fell in Maya. Like that. He fell down like that because of the gopis like that. He's an avatar, but he had a little bit of a problem. Yes? No? No? Who's the greatest devotee of Krishna? Yashoda or Radharani? You go say this in Gujarat. We'll discuss this with Pushti Marg in Gujarat. Yeah, so many subtle things, different subtle developments. So Krishna explained to Maitreya, matstanam, my real fixed position, because my position in Dwarka, my stanam, fixed position in Dwarka, is actually higher than my position as Mahavishnu. These personal relationships we're discussing are not something mundane. This is something even higher. And of course, Dwarka is limited to pretty much dasya ras, which is higher than, somewhat, I guess, other things there. So, so we're going through all the different cantos, and the 10th canto is very elevated. Now it's discussing just purely Krishna's pastimes, and it's just showing us all these different rasas and relationships. So more specifically, what's happened is that Krishna has left Vrindavan. And are we dealing with Krishna now? Who's being discussed here? Is it Krishna or an expansion of Krishna or an incarnation of Krishna? Ekapada, Vrindavana Parityadya, Ekapada Nagachati. Krishna never takes one footstep out of Vrindavan. Yeah? So who are we dealing with then? Huh? You should take our course on Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta. So there are expansions, which is Balaram, Prakash, and there are incarnations, which is Advaita Acharya. And Lord Chaitanya discusses all this with Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. Many chapters. Sanatana Shiksha. How many chapters? 1, 4, or 13? 4. Rupa Goswami, Siksha, 1. Chapter 19, 1 chapter. Yeah. And that's the basis of Nectar of Devotion, like that. So with Sanatana Goswami, he talks about Tadatmika Prakash, Swayam Prakash, all the different expansions. Krishna expands himself to dance in the Ras Lila, right? Yeah, but that's a more intimate form than Krishna expanding himself in Dwarka. In Dwarka, he doesn't have 4 arms, but he also hasn't got a flute. Yeah, so very different relationships with Krishna. Okay, so he's in Dwarka. He goes to school, right? You got to go to school. Got to get a diploma. He does. What is it? You can do this now. You can catch up, right? You can get your GED, right? Krishna goes and gets his GED certificate. Finishes off Gurukula in 30 days? Does his whole Gurukula training in 30 days. Okay. Comes back and gets married. Who does he marry? Rukmini. And how does he get her? By kidnapping her. That's the way a man should get his wife, right? Other guys and just run off with her on a horse. Actually, that is rape. This is a very interesting subject matter because it's a big controversial thing in Prabhupada's books. The birds that hang on like this, like falcons and stuff, they're called raptors. You have the word rapture. Rapture, being captured, being carried away. In Spanish, it's not the, when you say the kidnapping of Rukmini, it is la rapta de Rukmini, rapta, which is the same root as the word rape. But it doesn't mean the rape of Rukmini. It means that would be violation, la violación de Rukmini. So in Spanish and early 20th century English, the word rape meant to carry off. So in this discussion, and one purport Prabhupada says, women, he's talking about materialistic women are very fond of men who are expert at rape. So this is a very, very controversial topic. People have used this to drive people away from Prabhupada and ISKCON, like that and so on. Yeah, it's a very hot topic, you know. So one lady, ISKCON devotee, she was pointing out if you go to like, you know, some supermarket, I'm not sure what you got here, Kroger's or Walmart, they have a section of paperback books there. So you look at half of them, they're all some woman being like carried off by a handsome man in a tuxedo, and she's in a formal dress, and she's sitting there like, oh, please don't kidnap me. Okay, I won't. What do you mean you won't kidnap me? Oh, but you carried me off. This is right. Prince Charming comes on the white horse and just grabs you and takes you off to the fairy palace with lots of servants and nice sherbet and things like that, and discussing, looking up words in the dictionary together, like that, playing pool. Yeah. So this is what is it, the rape? How are we get on the topic of rape here? I'm not sure, like that. Oh yeah, the kidnapping of Rukmini. So that's the way a Kshatriya is supposed to win his wife, defeat all the rivals. When this was happening, Krishna took her onto his chariot. You see the picture there too. She's like, whole thing, you know. So then, looking at Maharaj, ki jai, ki jai. So then, kidnapping Rukmini, yeah. Oh yeah. So they were doing a drama of this in Los Angeles. Los Angeles was very good with dramas. They did really good dramas. In New York also. Those two especially, New York and Los Angeles. So they were doing the kidnapping of Rukmini, and Prabhupada was there, and when Krishna took her out of the chariot, then Prabhupada stood up and said, and she was not a timid girl, she was Kshatriya. she grabbed the reins from her husband and was driving the horses like that, you know, while he was shooting at them. So you can see like some Kshatriya girl, like, okay, she wants to impress her new husband, and she grabs the steering wheel and, okay, starts driving the car like that, you know. Yeah, Kshatrini. It's not in the Krishna book. You know. Jayananda told us, if you just go on chanting Hare Krishna, you'll see pastimes you never read in any of my books. Prabhupada said that. So go on chanting, and you start seeing these things. Okay, confirmed in different places. So he kidnapped Rukmini, and everything was very, very fine. But now this thing happened. Pretty much very soon after he was in Dwarka. He moved to Dwarka to create a secure place for everybody from Jarasandha. And so then we mentioned this yesterday, another Purana explains that when Krishna, he saw the eclipsed moon, and you're not supposed to look at it because you'll get, it'll destroy your character, your reputation. But he saw it reflected in a bowl of water or something. That was enough. And so because of that, he had to have his character defamed. And that's what's happened, so many stories happening, so many things. This is a little extract of what was happening in Dwarka. So many things were happening. So Satrajit, which I still can't figure out what it means. Jit means conquer. Satrajit, Shatrajit. He who conquers with weapons, maybe. Anyhow, he was a Kshatriya within the jurisdiction of Dwarkadam, and he was a great devotee of the sun god, and because of that, he gradually entered into a friendly relationship with him, and the sun god awarded him a jewel known as, what does that mean also? Yeah. And when he would wear this jewel, he would look exactly like sun god. So one time he brought it to Dwarka, and all the citizens of Dwarka thought that the sun god had come to Dwarka. Was this surprising? No, because everybody was coming all over the universe to see Krishna, the Varuna, Indra. Okay. So anyway, they all ran to Krishna, and Krishna was engaged playing chess Uddhava and Rukmini. I'm not sure who was on whose side, and what the prizes were for winning and losing there. You know. They told him, "Oh, the sun god has come," and he knew everything. So he went and saw Satrajit and respected him. And he said, "You should give this. You should offer this to Maharaj Ugrasena, because everything should be offered to the king. The best of everything should be offered to the king." But Satrajit, even though he could have got such great benefit by satisfying Krishna's desires, couldn't understand this. Directly in Krishna's presence. So he decided to keep the jewel because he was materialistically inclined. And who would not keep that jewel? Because every day it was producing something like 400 pounds of gold. You know, if you had 400 pounds of gold every day, or you have to go to work, you could buy the company. Yeah. One of my disciples, he's from Czech Republic. He's the person who does Vedabase.com. Prahlad Nrsingadas Ki Jai. He's developing the whole thing. Great service. I forget how many hits there are every day now. It's an incredible book distribution program. So he said in Czech Republic, the doctors are very famous for being corrupt, money, and the lawyers are even more famous for the corruption. But the most famous are what we call the customs people. Customs people taking bribery, everything. So one man went to a doctor and said, "How long it take you to buy Audi?" You know, right? Yeah. And the guy said, "Oh, I can buy Audi in 3 months. I make so much money." Went to the second guy and his lawyer said, "How long it take you to buy Audi?" He said, "Oh, I can buy Audi in 1 month." Went to a customs guy, I call these guys, and said, "How long it take you to buy Audi?" He said, "Oh, maybe 1 year." He said, "But you people are so famous for taking so much money." And he said, "Yes, but Audi is big company." So anyway, a little joke on the side there about running. Anyway, if you had 400 pounds of gold a month, you might also become a materialist if somebody offered you 400 pounds of gold a month. You know? Yeah. So he was keeping it. And what happened? Okay. So, but he gave Satyabhama to Krishna almost as like a little bit of a guilty compensation, which means he was more attached to the gold than he was to the goddess of fortune, which is kind of like Rukmi. Rukmi actually loved his sister, who was Rukmini, and who is the goddess of fortune. He loved the goddess of fortune, the opulence, the money, the wealth, and he thought that a better match for her than Krishna was Shishupal. He really felt that way, and so on. That was his perception of things. You know? He wasn't kind of like an evil dude. He was more like just kind of confused in some ways. You know, all these people with great personalities, we can find them all in ISKCON, different personalities like this. You know? Not all bad, not all good, and how to help them and how to relate to them. Okay. Was Duryodhana all bad? No? What good things did Duryodhana do? Everybody had good income, everybody else, yeah. And also when Yudhishthira came to ask for the 5 arrows, with which Bhishma was going to kill them, what did he do? He gave them to him. Yeah, he had some character. Yeah. No bad man is all bad, and no good man is all good. In the material world. Yeah. So we got to the point here of, what is it? Oh yeah, the Shamtaka jewel. He wouldn't give it away. So we discussed this yesterday. His brother, whose name was Prasena, Sena means Kshatriya, was showing off the family opulence, riding around with the jewel. Excuse me. And he was attacked by a leopard. No, a raccoon. No, what? A lion. How big is a lion? If a lion was right here, right now, sitting beside me, how tall would his head be? Like that? Like this. And how big would his mouth be? Like that. No. Yeah. And how loud would his roar be? Yeah, you can hear lions when they're hungry. Oh, if you're some poor guy in Africa with a little spear, the lion roars. It's like, yeah. Among beasts, I am the lion. Yeah. So when this lion attacked him and killed the horse and killed Prasena. What was our head count yesterday? 5, yeah. Because of this jewel, 5 different people in this one pastime, 5 different people were killed because of this one jewel. What to speak of going on in the future. This is true of all these big jewels, the Hope Diamond and stuff. I don't know how many people have died because of the Hope Diamond. On and on. Yeah. These huh? And they kill the security guards. I know. Yes. The Bhagavatam says, Dharmasya hiya pavargasya narto ritayo pakadalpate nartasya dharmayakantasya kamalabhaya hismitaha. Next verse says, Jivasya tattva vijnasa. Jivasya tattva vijnasya. You should have just enough money to inquire into the absolute truth. Right? Not too much, not too little. Just enough to live a simple life of self-preservation. That's what we're aiming at. We have a right for that, a simple life of self-preservation. Because then you can actually start to inquire about immortality and getting out of this mess. Yeah. Okay, so they weren't doing that. So eventually the jewel was recovered, and Krishna also got, with the jewel, he also got Jambavati. Was she a bear? Yeah. Was Jambavan a bear? He was the king of the bears. Yeah, the bears, yeah. So Prabhupada says in one letter, he says he was the king of the bears, but he definitely was not a bear. Like that and so on. Yeah. They're tough guys. Yeah. So I guess his daughter also wasn't, bear. She was just a Vanara. Yeah. Changing forms. Okay, now 2 wives, right? 2 or 3? 3. Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati. Yeah. How many principal queens married by Krishna? That's marginal. 8 principal queens. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay. How many flavors of ice cream at Baskin Robbins? How many? 31. Why is that? There are 31 days in the month. Therefore, every day at Baskin Robbins, you can go and taste a different flavor. And for Halloween, they toss in pumpkin ice cream. Baseball season, they toss in baseball nut. Okay. So Krishna has 16,108 different queens like that to enjoy, joking, laughing, everything. Yeah. Where is this discussed? Where are all these details of these different Madhurya rasas discussed? Which literature? Which book? It's discussed a little bit in Nectar of Devotion. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu discusses a little bit in the the northern and western part. Huh? Ujjvala Nilamani. Sanatana Goswami says, I'm not satisfied, there's more than this. And he directly goes on, talks about this kind of combination, this kind of feeling, that kind of sentiment. Cuban lovers, Russian lovers. It's like Prabhupada said that Prabhupada was in Paris. And French people, of course, are very proud of their rasa, everything else. So devotee said he came there. It was a big advertised program. He was there. And they, so all these French people are looking at Prabhupada, very, very, very critically, like that. So devotee said, Prabhupada got up and said, I hear that French people are very fond of revolution. So I propose a revolution. Vive le Prabhupada! Yeah. Everybody, he won their hearts like in 2 sentences. Yes, Prabhupada. And he went through his whole lecture. Then he finished off and he said, now we're going to be installing deities of Radha and Krishna. Everybody please come. And he said, Krishna is a transcendental woman hunter. Right? And I hear the most beautiful women in the world are in Paris and Kashmir. Right? So Krishna has come to Paris looking for a French girlfriend. Oh, yes. But I predict next he will go to Kashmir. Yeah. So Krishna has 16,108 queens. We've got 3 so far. A principle. Yeah. And then what happened? Then Krishna was in Dwarka, Satyabhama. Okay. Oh yeah, Krishna went to Hastinapur, right? Because the news had come that the Pandavas had been died. They died. Yeah, they died in the house of Shalak, burned to death like that. Well, why weren't they coming out? Why weren't they challenging Dhritarashtra and demanding their kingdom and their birthright and everything else? And also because they were individually powerful, but Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra had all the mechanics of the government, the army, everything else like that. They couldn't assassinate them directly, the Pandavas, because all the Pandavas' friends who'd fought with him shoulder and shoulder as young men to subdue the world, they wouldn't have tolerated that. They would have had a civil war. So it had to be a program of peaceful annihilation. And Kunti was there like a deer surrounded by wolves with her kids, like that. Because she knew, where's Bhima? What's happening? Get him here. She knew that they were all out to get her. Everybody was smiling and carrying on. But behind the thing was to try and find some way to annihilate these people where we can claim that we didn't do it. Yeah. Okay, so they were hiding in exile for some time. And it looks like they were killed, So that's where we are now, like that. And yesterday describing that Krishna, although he knew everything, headed to Hastinapur to satisfy his family responsibilities. So we see this, even in the spiritual world, there's work. There's work. Krishna has to go to work. There's responsibilities. These things they're nice. Yeah, it's nice to have to go to work, with that. So anyway, today, the two lords, when they got to Hastinapur, met with Bhishma, Kripa, Vidura, Gandhari, and Drona, showing sorrow equally to theirs. They cried out, "Alas, how painful this is." Purport by Hridayana Maharaj and Gopi Puranana, and also the Acharyas. Srila Sridhar Swami points out that those who were involved in the assassination attempt were, of course, not at all sorry to hear of the Pandavas' death. The persons specifically mentioned here, however, Bhishma, Kripa, Vidura, Gandhari, and Drona, were actually unhappy to hear of the supposed tragedy. Interesting, huh? So Gandhari wasn't a conspirator in this. Duryodhana apparently knew what was happening. It seems like that. But Gandhari wasn't. Very interesting. Even the divisions are even going on. Don't tell Mama. She won't. She was trying to stop him and restrain him. Yeah. Wow. What a soap opera. Okay. Text number. My God. 3. Labdvaitad antaram rajam shata dhanvanam uchatu akrara krita varma now manich kashman nagriyate. What's happening now? One word gives it away. Shata dhanvam. Taking advantage of this opportunity, O king, Akrura and Kritavarma went to Shatadhanva and said, "Why not take the Shamtaka jewel?" Purport: Akrura and Kritavarma reasoned that since Krishna and Balaram were absent from Dwarka, Shatrajit could be killed and the jewels stolen. Srila Sridhar Swami mentions that these two must have flattered Shatadhanva, telling him, "You are much braver than we are, so you kill him." Wow. They must have been very angry at Shatadhanva because he's running around blaspheming Krishna, saying very bad things about him. They're his devotees, so they must have been very, to the point where they wanted the guy killed. Shatrajit promised a jewel. They said, Shatrajit promised his jewel-like daughter to us, but then gave her to Krishna instead, contemptuously neglecting us. So why should Shatrajit not follow his brother's path? Ooh, this is intense. Purport: since Shatrajit's brother Prasena had been violently killed, the implication of following his brother's path is obvious. What we have here is an assassination plot. This sounds like Sridhar Nanamara. No? It is well known that both Akrura and Kritavarma are exalted, pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, so their unusual behavior requires some explanation. The Acharyas provided as follows. Srila Jiva Goswami states that Akrura, although a first-class, pure devotee of the Lord, was a victim of the anger directed against him by the residents of Gokula because he took Lord Krishna away from Vrindavan. The Goswami further states that Kritavarma had associated with Kamsa, both of them being members of the Bhoja dynasty. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Radharani ki jai. Wow. Wow. Okay. He had associated with Kamsa, both of them being members of the Bhoja dynasty. And then Kritavarma, and thus Kritavarma was now suffering from this undesirable association. So many things. One little mistake and you can, get some problems going in your spiritual life. Such Jiva Goswami's commentary. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti offers an alternative explanation. Both Akrura and Kritavarma were furious with Satyajit because he had insulted Lord Krishna, and spread false rumors about him in Dwarka. So my speculation was correct. Well, supported by Vishwanath Chakravarti. Under normal circumstances, Akrura and Kritavarma would have been most pleased that Lord Krishna married the beautiful daughter of beautiful Satyabhama. Being pure devotees, they could not actually be unhappy about this match, nor could they become jealous rivals of the Lord. Therefore, they had an ulterior motive in behaving like his rivals, which is to inspire Satadhanva, hey, we're all in the same boat together, and you also wanted her for a wife. Evam bhina matistabhyam. His mind, thus influenced by their advice, wicked Satadhanva. This is in Dwarka, no? So there are wicked people in Dwarka. Does that mean there are wicked people in Nilamadhavadam? No. I don't know. I asked a question. Yeah. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, the word asattamaha indicates that Shatadhanva was basically evil-minded and a firm hater of Satyajit. Yeah. Now again, this doesn't mean his heart wasn't with different things. Kaliya was an evil dude, right? Yeah. But he was such an exalted person that Krishna danced on his head and left the marks of his footprints on his head. So there can be a lot of sophisticated things. The fact that Shatadhanva was killed by Krishna personally, many things means he's not an ordinary person. Who was he in his previous life, and so on. Strinam vikro shamananam. As the women of Satyajit's palace screamed and helplessly wept, Shatadhanva took the jewel and left like a butcher after he had killed some animals. Wow. When Satyabhama saw her dead father, she was plunged into grief, lamenting, my father, oh, I am killed." She fell unconscious. According to Jiva Goswami, Satyabhama's anguished feelings and words at the death of her father were prompted by Lord Krishna's pastime potency, Lila Shakti, to prepare for the Lord's violent reaction against Satadhanva. Queen Satyabhama put her father's corpse in a large vat of oil and went to Hastinapur, where she sorrowfully told Lord Krishna, who was already aware of the situation, about her father's murder. When Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram heard this news, O king, they exclaimed, "Alas, this is the greatest tragedy for us," thus imitating the ways of human society. They lamented, their eyes brimming with tears. The Supreme Lord returned to his capital with his wife and elder brother. After arriving in Dwarka, he readied himself to kill Shatadanva and retrieve the jewel from him. Upon learning that Lord Krishna was preparing to kill him, Shatadanva was struck with fear. To save his life, he approached Kritavarma and begged for help, but Kritavarma replied as follows. Okay? I dare not offend the Supreme Lords, Krishna and Balaram. Indeed, how can one who troubles them expect to have any good fortune? Kamsa and all his followers lost both their wealth and their lives because of enmity toward them. And after battling them 17 times, Jarasandha was left without even a chariot. Had to take the bus home, right? The Greyhound. Yeah. This is pretty low class, right? They inspired the guy to kill him, and now they're making him hold the bag. Well, we didn't kill him. Tough luck, fella. Yeah. And you should have thought about this before you did it. Okay. So I respect Kritavarma wasn't very pleased with this, and maybe he said a few harsh words to. Satadamba said a few harsh words to Kritavarma, no? Okay. Purport. Sridhar Swami explains that the word helanam indicates acting against the Lord's will, and that virginam indicates an offense against the Lord. So we're mentioning three major commentaries here, right? Mars is including three major commentaries in the Bhagavatam by, what's the oldest one? The oldest commentary is by Sridhar Swami, then Jiva Goswami, yeah, then Vishwanath Chakravarti, yeah, the order. But Madhvacharya has comments on the Bhagavatam, so why don't we take Madhvacharya's commentary as the oldest one? It's not complete. You heard from Radhika Raman, yeah, because he only comments on certain things. So the first complete commentary is Sridhar Swami. That doesn't mean that people weren't commenting on it before, yeah. Because Madhvacharya, he specifically doesn't comment on the Rasa Lila chapters, yeah, because he's Hanuman, yeah. Okay, so it's coming down through these great acharyas. Sridhar Swami, for example, says that every Purana includes 10 things. What's it called? Creation, Sarga, Visarga, Manvantar, Ashraya. It's mentioned in the second canto. So Sridhar Swami says that each chapter, each canto can be followed by that, one after another. Okay. Now, Jiva Goswami says no. Okay. So what is Prabhupada going to do? You got Sridhar Swami and Jiva Goswami arguing. So Prabhupada, if you see the books, he says, this canto can be called creation. This canto can be called subsequent creation. So he doesn't, find some very clever way to keep from avoid offending either acharya or combating with them and so on. Very interesting situation, our epistemology. Okay, going on here. His appeal refused. Chatadanva went to Akrura and begged him for protection. But Akrura similarly told him, who would oppose the two personalities of Godhead if he knew their strength? Yeah. He is the Supreme Lord who creates, maintains, and destroys this universe simply as his pastime. The cosmic creators cannot even understand his purpose, bewildered as they are by his illusory energy Maya. Purport. Use of the singular yaha, he who, indicates that the frequent references to the two lords, Krishna and Balaram, do not compromise the firm principle of monotheism expressed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. As explained in many Vedic literatures, the one Supreme Lord expands himself into innumerable forms, yet he remains the one and almighty God. For example, we have this statement in the Brahma Samhita 533, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam. That's all it is, yeah. The Supreme Lord is infallible and beginningless and he expands himself into innumerable manifest forms, in translation. Out of regard for the spirit of the Lord's pastimes in which he expands himself and appears as his own elder brother, Balaram, the Bhagavatam here refers to the two Lords. But the bottom line is that there is one supreme Godhead, one absolute truth, who appears in his original form as Krishna. Hallelujah. That, yes. Allahu Akbar. Okay. And Akrura continues, as a child of 7, Krishna uprooted an entire mountain and held it aloft as easily as a young boy picks up a mushroom. Well, Namas Tasmad Bhagavate. Oh, Akrura is a praying guy, right? Krishnayad Bhuta Karmane Anantaya Yadi Bhutaye Kutastayatmane Namaha. Wow. Yeah. I offer my obeisance to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, whose every deed is amazing. He is the Supreme Soul, the unlimited source and fixed center of the existence. Yeah. His appeal, thus rejected by Akrura also, Shratadhanva placed the precious jewel in Akrura's care, maybe a little sarcastically or something. All right, you take care of it then. And fled on a horse that could travel 800 miles, 100 yojanas, 800 miles. The term nyashya, leading in the care of, implies Shratadhanva now believed the jewel was his. Thus he was leaving it in the care of a friend. In blunt terms, this is a thief's mentality. My dear king, Krishna and Balaram mounted Krishna's chariot, which flew the flag of Garuda, and was yoked with tremendously swift horses, and pursued their elder's murderer. In a garden on the outskirts of Mithila, the horse Shratadhanva was riding collapsed. Terrified, he abandoned the horse and began to flee on foot, with Krishna in angry pursuit. Wow. This is Krishna consciousness, right? Shratadhanva had Krishna consciousness? Yes. Was he engaged in pure devotional service? No. Yeah. As Shratadhanva fled on foot, the Supreme Lord, also going on foot, cut off his head with his sharp-edged disc. The Lord then searched Shratadhanva's upper and lower garments for the Shamataka jewel. My goodness. I guess this is better than TSA, right? Yeah. Not finding the jewel, Lord Krishna went to his elder brother Balaram and said, "We have killed Shratadhanva uselessly. The jewel isn't here." Oh. To this, Lord Balaram replied, "Indeed, Shratadhanva must have placed the jewel in the care of someone. You should return to our city and find that person. I wish to visit the king of Videha, who is most dear to me." O king, Parikshit, having said this, Lord Balaram, the beloved descendant of Yadu, entered the city of Mithila. Purport: Krishna and Balaram had finally caught up with Shratadhanva on the outskirts of Mithila. Since the king of the city was a dear friend of Balaram's, the Lord decided to enter the city and spend some time there. Okay. The king of Mithila immediately rose from his seat when he saw Lord Balaram approaching. With great love, the king honored the supreme worshipable Lord by offering him elaborate worship as stipulated by scriptural injunctions. The Almighty Lord Balaram stayed in Mathura for several years. This is interesting. Several years, honored by his affectionate devotee, Janak Maharaj. So Janak Maharaj is still alive? It says here, Janak Maharaj. Is that a proper translation or not? It says Janakena by King Janaka. Okay. During that time, Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana learned from Balaram the art of fighting with a club. Lord Krishna arrived in Dwarka and described the demise of Shratadhanva and his own failure to find the Shamtaka jewel. Yeah. He spoke in a way that would please his beloved Satyabhama. Purport: naturally, Queen Satyabhama was pleased to hear that her father's murderer had been brought to justice. But her father's Shamtaka jewel still had to be recovered, and thus she was also pleased to hear of Lord Krishna's determination to recover it. Lord Krishna then had the various funeral rites performed for his deceased relative, Shatrajit. The Lord attended the funeral along with well-wishers of the family. When Akrura and Kritavarma, who were originally incited Shatadamba to commit his crime, heard that he had been killed, they fled Dwarka in terror and took up residence elsewhere. In Akrura's absence, ill omens arose in Dwarka. Okay, we go up to text 30. Tomorrow will be text 30 then, like that, text 30. So pretty much the whole thing is finished, and now Akrura's fled and Kritavarma's fled, and we'll find out later on what happens with them and so on. So any comments? Anybody else? Any here? Yes, sir. Yeah. 1, 2. Yeah.
Person.
Oh.
You said he's not a good person.
Oh.
Would that be partly why he is so attaches himself to the principles and the outward appearance of being a proper Kshatriya? Like even when they went to kill him, he wouldn't fight Krishna because he ran away. He wouldn't fight Arjuna because he was too young.
Yeah.
He wouldn't fight Yudhisthira because he was too old. But he would fight Bhima because he looked like the same, caliber as he was.
Yeah.
But he really attached himself to these outward appearances. Like when he canceled Shishupal, he said, I fought Krishna 17 times and the stars just weren't in my favor. But gradually I did win.
Yeah.
And actually he didn't. Krishna just left. So is that kind of what also plays into these things, that they actually have these psychological profiles, the different personalities involved?
Oh yeah, I mean it's whole thing. It's very, very complicated. That's why Arjuna is not a clear black and white thing. When the Bhagavad Gita starts, the basic text, the whole thing is a very complicated situation. Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys? Is of course one of the most difficult is, to my mind, is Karna. Radeya, is he a good guy or a bad guy? It's very difficult. Incarnation. He's a demigod, incarnation of the sun god. Yeah. And so very complicated situation. Also, Bhishma and Drona. Yeah. So in our dealings in life, we should understand that on a certain level we may be pitted against different other people, but we should have enough sense to realize and maintain our other relationships. Two lawyers in the court may whack it out. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was mentioned about this. He said they have to make their money, they have to show off in front of their clients that they're defending them, But afterwards they go down and sit in the bar and have some Coca-Cola with lemon juice. and hey, you got a little heavy there. Yeah, I know, I got a little carried away. Forgive me. Oh, okay, yeah. You owe me one. I owe you one. I mean, you owe me one for what I did in the back in that case. Yeah, okay. And they can level it out, So understanding this is taking Varna, one of the best pathways is to take Varna Ashram Dharma and then spiritualize it. Daivi Varna Ashram is one of the best ways to advance in spiritual life. Chant Hare Krishna, understand a little Sankhya so you don't keep it becoming materialistic, and then love Krishna as your baby. After it all was finished, all the big Sankhya with Kunti, all these discussions of all these chapters, incredible Sankhya. And he says, but mommy, I'm just your little boy. You love me that way. So go ahead and develop that, but don't forget what I'm telling you so you don't mistake me for this body and this kind of stuff. So, Varna Ashram and all these kind of personal relationships. Because they're just reflections in this world, of the real world. And then how to fit into all this and find our place, and it's okay. So no good man is all good, no bad man is all bad. So we have, okay, first here, over there, yeah. Somebody over there raised their hand. Oh, I understand. Okay. You got to be careful around. Got to be careful around this place. scratch your head, next second you're 20,000 people are looking at you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Karna was born before all the other brothers, and the truth about it came out after the battle.
He was, in Vedic culture, it's a big deal. You treat your big brother as good as your father, everything else. Yeah, so many details. And of course, finally, when he was dead, the Pandavas are hopping up and down. We've won. We won. Everything is okay. And Kunti is coming. Kunti is coming to see us, and she's coming to share in our satisfaction and happiness. But she walked right past him and went over and was holding on to Karna and crying. That's nothing. And then I said, "Who was he?" He says, "He was your older brother." Of course, for Yudhishthira, this is great news because he just committed, what is it? Not patricide, something like patricide. Yeah. Fratricide. Fratricide. Yeah, he just killed his big brother. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mommy. Yes. Huh? Because I was seduced by the sun god. Jai, Rukmini, Radharani ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Back home, back to Godhead.
Even up to the battle, Karna didn't know he was Kunti's son either. Until the battle began, because because he made a promise, you'll still have 5 sons. One of them's going to go, me or Arjuna, but you'll have 5 sons still.